Hi, Brennan Kaufman here. Personal background, I graduated from Ohio University in 2018. I joined the Wasserstrom Company. They're a distributor of food service supplies and equipment and very competitive. I was a outside account manager for the last 4 years. I joined them right outside of college with zero experience, but a heck of a lot of heart and energy. I took over for a gentleman, the territory manager. He was in his late 50s. He moved to another territory. So fresh blood came in and took over that territory, and I was very successful at it. So just a little background about myself, and I'll explain more throughout this. So comparing and contrasting yesterday's sales with today's, I wanted to go into the Harry Anderson book. On chapter 1, page 10, talks about the expanding role of a salesperson, the serving as a customer consultant, and managing customer relationships. I understand this. I knew that already. So I wanted to dive deeper. I found an article online from explorit.com and talking about how a strong CRM program will increase profit, productivity, and the customer experience. So reflecting personally on that, and today, increasing profit, I'm a distributor. Everything I sell you can buy online. It's a commodity. So I would lose a lot of margin from internet sales that were a lot less cheaper than me. However, having that really good relationship allowed me to keep my margin. People would just buy from me, sometimes not even asking me the price because they know they're buying from me. We have a relationship. And then productivity. Today, especially in the food service world, getting to that decision maker is tough. They're very short-staffed. They don't have as much time for us sales guys anymore. So having that better relationship and being that consultant, they welcome me when I come in. They give me that time of day. So I'm more productive. And then improving the customer experience. I'm very invested into these customers and the communities that they serve. So I try to predict what they need before they even know it. That's the future, at least in my world it is, with the internet being such a competitive force here. Moving on, the Harry Anderson book on page 16 talks about megatrends, behavioral forces. I want to talk about the follow-up and how one of the behavior forces, customers need follow-up and they want to hear back from you ASAP. At least for me, I came in with zero experience. The answer is yes. Now, what's your question was the thing. I didn't know answers to many questions, but I got back to them ASAP. I followed up, and that was important. That made me really successful in the territory because I had followed up. And then tech forces. Again, I took over a gentleman who was, in his late 50s. I mean, he didn't get back to people nearly as fast as I did. And not to mention, he struggled with Microsoft Office. So I think some of the tech forces is you have a lot of older salespeople who don't use this as efficiently as possible. Not me. I could run laps around that. So tech really helps an inexperienced young person out like me, where it may not so much the old seasoned guy or girl. And then leading versus managing. Coming in with zero experience, the J&M book talks about sales management in the 21st century. We need to be more leaders than managers. Bringing on inexperienced talent, young inexperienced talent is fine as long as they have the right character traits and they can be led and taught and bred to be that successful salesperson. Thankfully, my boss was a leader, and he allowed me to learn, and he didn't micromanage me, and that was key to my success. If you're going to bring on inexperienced talent, you've got to have the right managers. This is for the future. And now the future of sales and why. Marin Greenberg in 1964 talked about how salespeople need empathy and ego drive. Heck yeah, that's still true today. However, it needs to be added to that. At least for me coming in this role, you need mental strength, and emotional intelligence, and adaptability. Things change on a dime. It's very stressful. It's very hard on your noggin. It's incredibly stressful at some points working with some of these people. So sales managers in the future, they need to look at candidates that possess these traits as well. And then the Johnson and Marshall book on page 11 talks about environmental factors that impact selling. Something that the book misses is, these new factors that we never have to worry about: pandemics, the climate change, heat waves, supply issues, Texas freezing. I mean, Texas freezing for a week screwed over a lot of supply. So I think that those climate change and then things like pandemics are huge external factors that are really controlling the sales market, especially with the supply chain. And then finally, technology. The books mention how how important technology is in sales process. However, there's a great article in Business to Community talking about how the internet killed the salesperson. If sales are going to survive and salespeople are going to be profitable, the internet cannot destroy that. We need face-to-face contact. We need that personable selling. There needs to be relationships. People buy from people, and that has to continue to exist. So I really hope the internet doesn't kill the salesperson. That article talked about how salespeople were the guardians of information, not so much anymore. So really proving yourself as a salesperson with that strong relationship, with that consultative selling approach, will help prevent the internet from taking you over. Thanks.